Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It. Hi, I'm your host, Chris Meadows, and I just wanted you to know that I am so excited about today's Let's Talk About It. Let me tell you, we have someone here today that is very dear and near to my heart. It's Trilanda Colbert. And if any of you know Trilanda, you know she has been with Harvest Girls for many, many years. And now she has stepped out into the world bold and fearless, creating her own space. And so without any further ado, I'm going to let Trilanda introduce herself. Hi, Trilanda, would you tell us a little bit about yourself so that we can move on into the shift that you've made into your life?
Absolutely. Well, hello, Chris, and everyone watching. Thank you so much for this opportunity. So, once again, I'm Trilanda Colbert. I am the owner of Kei2Health LLC. I am a certified integrative nutrition coach, which basically means I use a holistic approach to your overall health and wellness. So, I support people as they make sustainable health lifestyle changes. So we don't focus on diets. I really want people to understand the importance of making a shift to an overall healthy lifestyle. So I relate your relationships, your career, your finances, the things that tend to cause us stressors in our lives, and help you understand the direct correlation between what you eat and how you eat. So we work a lot on your personal things and stressors, so that you are successful in making healthy lifestyle changes.
That's amazing. I think that at this point in our lives and during this time of the nation, that we need to make that shift in our lives because it's so easy with having to be home more than we've ever been before. People are talking about the COVID 15. Oops, I don't know if I was supposed to say that word, but let's say the pandemic 15 that people say they are gaining just by being home. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your journey. I wanted to talk about, I know you are by profession, you're an HR senior. You've worked in some of the Fortune 500 companies. You have traveled all over. You're a recruiter. You've done some amazing things in corporate America. What caused you to pause or to shift from that to where you are now? Because that's a pretty a different shift going from HR to health and to actually baking and nutrition, but it's not. If they hear your story, tell us a little bit about that.
So I've actually had a very strong interest and passion for natural healing, ways to heal the body naturally. So primarily through foods. And it started with my own health issues at the age of 25. I had high blood pressure and high cholesterol. It was on both sides of my family. So my doctor at the time was like, just take the pill and you'll be all right. Well, I didn't want to start taking that kind of medication at the age of 25. I just felt that was way too soon. So I started doing research on what can I do to lower my blood pressure and what can I do to lower my cholesterol. I had to look at the way that I was cooking and the things that I was eating on a very weekly basis. So I stopped frying everything. I cut out pork chops, cut out bacon, incorporated more oatmeal. And when I went back for my follow-up appointment, my levels were really good. So I was able to come off the medication. So it just became a passion of mine. And, oh, I have a headache. Well, I don't want to take Tylenol, ibuprofen. What can I do? What kind of tea can I drink? So it was always something that I've done. I've been a baker since I was knee high. And that was another thing the doctor told me, well, you just have to stop baking. And I'm like, well, I'm never going to stop baking, but I won't make a dessert every Sunday and muffins and cookies for us to have throughout the week, every single week. So, I really cut back on my baking. And a couple years into that, I stopped using butter completely. So I started using butter alternatives in my baking and in my cooking. So throughout my corporate career, I've had some very stressful jobs, some very high level positions. And most recently, The most recent corporate position that I held, I was a talent acquisition manager in an oil and gas company. Being a Black female in a leadership position, it they did not make it easy for me. So it was a very stressful job. I ended up with a heart condition under the care of a cardiologist.
Okay.
So I decided that it was best for me. This job was causing me, I was allowing this job to cause me so much stress, and it was very harmful on my body, that I took a sabbatical. So I took some time off. And the plan was really to take 4 or 5 months off, just to really heal my body, heal my mind, and then go back into corporate America. But
Mm-hmm.
the more and more I thought about it, I was just like, this really isn't what I want to continue doing. After 21 years, I thought this is the career that I would retire from. But as a recruiter, I always told people, work in your passion, do what you love. What would you get up and do every day, even if you didn't get paid for it? And although I love being a recruiter and meeting new people, just the stress of the job, I needed to find something else. And I was like, I'm very passionate about nutrition. I saw so many people other than myself that had heavy health issues from the stress of the job and the stress that
Mm-hmm.
it caused from their families, because we were always at work, we were always traveling, and even when we were at home, we were still working, because that became kind of the expectation. So the amount of stress that people had on them, and then they just weren't eating well, or all these fast food places were being delivered constantly. I said, I really want to go back into businesses, corporations like this. And instead of, I saw the skyrocketing health costs being in HR, let's go to more preventative measures. So we don't have all these costs of people being ill and we're trying to give them treatment. Let's help them not get to the place where they're that sick. So I determined I needed to have a certification, even though I've been doing my own thing for 20 years. And I knew some things that work, because it worked for me and it worked for friends and family that were always asking me questions. I'm like, I do this for free. I can get paid for this. It's something that I really do love. So I found a school that specialized in nutrition and healing. But I really love the holistic approach to helping people really understand why you choose to eat the way that you do. So that was really important to me. So I enrolled in the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, um, got my certification there, and then I incorporated my business November 21st, 2019. I became official Kei2Health, and I've been doing meal prep for many years, again, just because of my work schedule. And once I determined I really have got to eat better, I was eating out way too much. And not fast food, but so I'm spending a lot of money eating food because I'm eating at nicer restaurants, but that still really wasn't truly healthy for me. So I've been doing meal prep for at least the last 5 years for myself and a couple other people. So that, just kind of grew into, helping people. Okay, you don't have time. I'm doing this every week anyway. Let me help you out. And then I began baking vegan desserts.
Mm. Yes, vegan
Probably,
chocolate chip cookies.
yes, maybe
Love.
about 3 or 4 years ago. So honestly, I really just started pushing and tagging them as vegan. They've been vegan. So if
Mm-hmm.
you've been eating my cookies, you've been eating
Right.
my cookies, but I just didn't call them that.
Yes.
Um, they were just delicious cookies.
Yes, they are. I've had them. Yes.
Yeah, so I started doing that because I found that dairy, that was an irritant. And learning what I learned in my time in the school and the program about refined sugars and all the chemicals that are used in a lot of our foods, and really just trying to get to a whole natural place. I really started being even more mindful of the ingredients that I used when I baked and when I cooked. So I found that several vegan recipes that I just tried for myself really didn't bother me as much. And then people started, well, can I pay you to make this? And can I pay you to make that? And I am a Wilton's certified decorator as well. So that was kind of a hobby that I had of baking. I always wanted to learn how to do flowers and, just make cakes pretty. So I've been doing that for, wow, 12 years now. I got that certification in 2008. So just being able to combine all of the things that I love cooking, I love baking, I love seeing people enjoy my food. And now that I can still make, comfort foods and food that we love, our soul food, but I just make healthier versions and it still tastes good and it's really good for you. So being able to combine all the things that I am passionate about and making money doing it. So it's been an amazing couple years for me on this journey and the shift that I just myself, I never thought I would leave corporate America. I never thought I would walk away from all that I walked away from.
Absolutely. And the question that's burning for me, because I love this question. I know the answer, but I love for the audience to hear this. What caused the shift? What where did the courage, where did the something's got to be better than this? How was that able to shift you to where you are now? Because it's got to be awful scary to leave a huge corporate job and start on your own from scratch, basically. And how did you do that? Tell us that story.
Well, actually, my sister and I took a trip to Maui, and we spent a couple days in San Diego prior to traveling to Hawaii. And it took me those couple days to really just wind down.
Mm-hmm.
So once I got to Maui and I got so relaxed, and I'm like, how in the world was I working like that?
Yeah.
Like I had not felt that relaxed in a very long time. And I had taken trips, but in the 4 years I had been in that position, I had never taken more than a long weekend. I never taken more than, 3 or 4 days off. And again, that was surrounding a weekend. So I was off for 10 days and I made up in my mind that I couldn't continue doing that. And
Right.
initially, like I said, I started planning. I started looking at my finances. What can I cut so that I can really start saving money to really be able to take some time off and spend with my son and spend with my family. I found that this job really has started consuming my whole life. People stop inviting me to stuff because they're like, I know she's not going to come because she's either busy or she's tired. So I realized the disconnect that I had created, and I didn't. I wanted to get back to that, so I planned. Um, but then I actually got really sick because then, as the time got closer to when I thought that I was going to leave my job, I kind of start waffling. Well, maybe I should stay a little longer. Maybe I don't have enough money saved, and really, allow fear to kind of set in. But I got so sick I literally was in my bed and I could not lay on my side. I could not lay on my stomach. I could only lay on my back. And I didn't have any choice but to look to God.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that it was God telling me it was time for me to move on. So during that time, I was like, all right, I just have to pick a date. This is a date and I'm going to move on. And the more that I start talking about it and speaking it out loud, the lighter and lighter I felt. My body started physically feeling better, just knowing that I had an end date in mind and that I was just going to be able to be free.
Yeah.
So, definitely my spirituality. And that has been the thing to kept me going
Yeah.
because, you know, I made a lot of money
Yeah.
at that job. And it is nothing but the grace of God that has kept me these past 2 years. Because I know I'm not making that kind of money, but I have not had to change my lifestyle. I'm still able to give to the organizations that I support because I'm operating in my purpose. This is
Yeah.
the thing that God has been preparing me for all along.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
the doors that have opened and the path that has been set before
Yeah.
me.
Yes.
So even when I have these long days in the kitchen or I'm doing events every weekend, I am still so happy because in light and because I'm free, I finally am truly walking in the purpose that he has set before me and being able to help people in a way that I really want to help people.
So what I hear you saying is that your self-worth is more important than your net worth.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So when we stop chasing paper and start chasing purpose,
Yes, I love
things start to happen.
it.
The
Hmm.
gifts that you have start to make room for you and shift and bring you before great people so that you can present yourself and operate in that which you are called. Because I can say from knowing you, um, for many years, seeing you in this space now versus where you were, you are a much different person. You smile all the time. You're happy. You love to talk about nutrition. You don't hesitate talking about wellness and all the things that go with that. And so that in itself is empowering to you and to others that hear this story. Can you give us one thing that you would tell someone if there may be some young ladies listening, there may be even some little girls, I don't know. What could you tell them that would help them to understand? It's great to want things, it's great to work and have those things, but when you have found out what your purpose and calling is in life, that thing, like you said, if you got up every day, you would do that, whether you got paid or not, whether they gave you an award for it, whether they called your name. If nobody did any of those things, you would still get up and do it to the best of your ability. What would you say to those young ladies or women, even women? Because let's face it, no matter how old you are, if you have breath in you, you still have possibilities in you. And so speak to that today, because I think it's important that people need to know um, that gift calls your name day and night. Your body talks to you. Your body will tell you, I'm sick and tired of doing what I wasn't called to do. And it all works together. It all works together. And so when we do that, we find out that the world is receptive to us because we have opened ourselves to the world. And this is another thing you said about finances. You said, I'm able to still live my same lifestyle. We see things as impossible because we think that the money is not there. But when you work in the gift and the purpose, it makes room for you. Somebody that wants to keep calling me. Sorry. But anyway, we just want you to speak to that today if you can.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to back it up a little bit and just share a little bit of a story, um, or my background. So as far as I had people that you can't do this, you can't do that. From the time I was a little girl, I always felt very passionate about helping people. And I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be a nurse. I want to be a nurse because I want to help people. I
Mm-hmm.
want to take care of people. And I was, you're too emotional for that. You cry too much for that. You can't do this, you can't do that. And I believe what other people said that I couldn't do. And so I'm like, okay, well, and I knew that about myself. I was emotional. But instead of me believing in me, I said, well, maybe I need to go into business. So I took the business path. Um, and every couple years, it would be something just weighing on me, no matter what role or job or company I was in. And I just thought it was time for me to move companies. And so I would move, and I was moving into greater positions, and I learned so much and had so many awesome opportunities. But this last time, um, I really had to start listening to the advice that I was given to other people, things that I've learned over the years,
Yeah.
and just my empowering myself and
Yeah.
things that I've learned from you.
Yeah.
Really listening to the things that I was saying to other people, and deep down in my heart, I want to take care of people. I want to help people. And so I'm not a nurse in the medical field, but I
Mm-hmm.
am still very much a nurse,
Yes.
because what I'm doing is healing you, not just, in your physical body, but we look at your mind, your spirit. We look at all of those things together. So I would say believe in yourself. And again, what you're passionate about, what you dream about, what you think about, what you write about, that is probably the thing that you really should be doing. And it doesn't matter what other people say. I mean, we don't want to be disrespectful to the adults in our life, but we know, God created us. He knows exactly the path that He has for us, um, and the gifts and the abilities that He's given to us. I've always been great at baking. I've always been great at cooking. And ever since I was a little girl, I enjoy cooking and baking for other people, and having people over to my house. People know I have great parties. So that has been hard for me in
Yes,
this,
you do.
this pandemic time of not being able to be a hostess and inviting people over. But believe in yourself, and that thing that you're thinking about all the time, that is the thing that you should be pursuing, and taking the initiative to seek out like-minded people or mentors that can help you get into that space, or opportunities to learn more about that thing.
Yeah.
And again, getting caught up in our finances as adult women, because a few years I was like, I'm a single mom, I have a mortgage, I can't just quit my job, and all the negative things that I told myself and I believed for far too long. I had to break free from that, and I can do this. This is the thing that I love. This is the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. And like I said, the opportunities that have prevailed themselves to me, it's just been absolutely amazing. So I am doing the possible, and God is very much doing the impossible.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I'm so excited about this for the reason that some people don't know their path immediately, and it's okay because some people say, "Well, I don't have any dreams, I don't have any goals," and you do. You just haven't tapped into them yet, or you haven't even maybe tried to just search within yourself. And that's another thing, knowing who you are to be able to find out what's on the inside of you. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a mission and a goal. And so it's okay to whether you're a young girl or an older lady or gentleman, if you do not know what is it that you're supposed to be doing. And it's something as simple as I did. I just said, God, show me what I'm supposed to be doing. And I had to start somewhere. So it doesn't just drop out of the sky. You have to start somewhere. And the best place to start, if you do not know what your gifts are, your purpose is, start serving. Just find a place to volunteer, start serving, and things will start happening. There's something happens to you on the inside when you start to serve that is far greater than you are. And it opens up a door that's in the inside of your soul that pushes you into that next level of purpose. And I know that, I've said that, I've taught that, my teachings, I've taught that forever. And I do believe that that is true for everybody. And I want to ask you, Trilanda, if you would just take maybe a couple minutes before we wind up and just tell us one thing that empowered you when you felt, I know you had to have times in your life when you said, is this the right thing? I don't see how this is going to work. Nothing's coming. I'm not getting the customers I thought. What's going on? I feel like I did the wrong thing. What empowered you to dust yourself off and get back or stay in the game or not come out of the game and get back in there and keep on working?
Well, I have some awesome, encouraging people around me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You got to keep positive people in your life.
yes.
The cheerleaders, people who are cheering for you. Yeah.
But even learning to be my own cheerleader.
Your own cheerleader. Yes.
I would say that would be the biggest thing, because for a long time I was my biggest naysayer. I didn't believe in myself, and I doubted myself. So I had to flip that around.
Yes.
And not depend on other people to cheer for me, because this is for me. It's not for anybody.
That's right.
So learning to be my own cheerleader. And today, you got this. I know it seems like da 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 da, but you got this. And affirmations. So talking to myself, empowering myself in the mirror, but being my own cheerleader. When those negative thoughts would come into my head, I'm chumping it down with a positive thought.
That's right. That's right.
Being my own cheerleader, just, flipping those negatives into positives and persevering, just pushing through.
Mhm.
I know this is the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. And every single time when I thought maybe I need to go get a job, boom,
Yeah,
something happens. I get 3, 4
yeah,
cake orders, or I get 2 or 3 new clients. So
yeah,
every time. And so I had to learn to relinquish control, and really just start trusting the process.
yes,
Now, now I don't even have those thoughts anymore.
yeah,
I know this is the path that I'm on.
yes,
Only great things are ahead. So I
yes.
just keep pushing through.
Yes, that's awesome. And I'm excited about that because so many times we wait on people to tell us what we need to do.
Mhm.
If they do, what are they saying about me? What are they accepting me? Does anybody? Because when I first started speaking, I thought nobody wants to hear what I have to say, but I didn't stop. I just kept. It was a story I was telling myself about me
Mhm.
that made the difference. And once I changed that little negative voice that kept coming in, nobody wants to hear what you have to say. And then I started saying, I do. I want to hear what I have to say. I want to hear my story encourages me every time I tell it as much as it does the people that I tell it to. And so with that being said, I just want everybody to realize that it's a story that you're telling yourself about you. You can do anything that you say. As we say in Harvest Girls, um, you can set goals and dream dreams, and with God it's possible to do all things. You're not weak, you're strong. You can persevere through it all. Challenges, economy, and adversities will never hold you back because you're a child of God and you never suffer lack. And so we say that to our young girls and we teach them that empowerment. And Trilanda was very instrumental in that because for many years she was our lead facilitator for our young girls in All Girls Matter Self-Esteem Academy. And she is now the senior advisor for the scholarship committee and meeting with college girls and mentoring them along their way in college because we do give college scholarships. And she has taken that on and doing an awesome job with our young ladies. But I want to leave you with just a few words from Trilanda, and then we're just going to sign off. Trilanda, leave us with one thing that you want us to know.
Well, I would say definitely your health is your wealth. So understanding is part of self-love. You
Mhm.
want to have a long life. You want to be around for people that you love. Your health is more important than any person or any job, any money, anything. Your health is your wealth. So when you learn to love yourself, love your body, care for your body, you're going to be more mindful of the things that you put in it. So one of my mottos is that I'm here to help you unlock your wealth by giving you the key to health.
And that is a wrap. Thank you so much. And remember, from Harvest Girls International, transformation begins with you. Bye bye now.